it going on today, boys and girls? In Sporting Land, once again, this is JPC with J&J Outlaw Sports, and I just wanted to jump in here real quick because I had a little nugget that I wanted to share with you guys and gals out there, and that's one John Kurtz, great podcast, good radio show. Check him out. Come out with a story that the Big 12 may not be done with expansion, that the 4 teams that they're thinking about adding now, Houston, Cincinnati, Central Florida, and BYU, may not be the only teams they add. But what they're going to do is they're going to add those 4 teams and then maybe at a later date add 4 more teams. And that's what his sources are saying and telling him, Pete Thamel from Yahoo Sports and Jamie Pollard, who's an actual athletic director at Iowa State, made some pretty interesting comments about how the Big 12 was going to eventually go to 16 teams and maybe not just get on an even keel with the other Power 5 conferences like the ACC and the Pac-12, but be actually probably the maybe 3rd best Power 5 conference at that point. But before I get more in depth into that, I would like to ask you common Joes and Sallies in the know out there, even more so than those media talking heads, I would like to ask you guys and gals to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Keeps me motivated, gets us closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and brings more common Joes and Sallies in the know in here to put us in the know. Now, getting right to it, like I said, I just mentioned the 4 teams that they're going to add, which I think are really a good start for them. They're going to add 4, and then at a later date, add more and let them maybe settle in so that it's not just a shock. I mean, the SEC only added 2 to get to 16. So to expect them to come in and just add 8 teams at one time is not really, to me, a good idea for cohesiveness and adding teams and working out schedules. So add the 4 teams that you're going to add now like you're going to do, and then to add the other 4 at a later date. Now the question is, who are going to be the next 4 that goes? Well, the next 4 that goes, in my opinion, will probably be Boise State, San Diego State, Memphis, and maybe South Florida. That way they could corner the South Florida market with Central Florida and South Florida. You have a nice little interstate rival there. Memphis comes on board. They got a great market with FedEx. Boise State and San Diego State would basically get you coast to coast, and you would be actually the first coast-to-coast conference in college football. And you could use that to your advantage in marketing and maybe even not only be better than the Pac-12 and the ACC, but you could even compete with the 2 big boys, the Big Ten and the SEC at that point. And what it also does, since the Pac-12 wants to act like they're a little bit higher and above the fray than the Big 12, which they're not, it sort of puts the Big 12 in a precarious, very precarious situation. Because at that point, if you take Boise State and San Diego State off the market, you're taking Boise State, which is a name brand now because of all the great upsets and the blue turf that they got, and not exactly the biggest market, but the brand name in itself and the huge upsets they pulled in the past is a great add. And then if you add San Diego State, that takes you coast to coast, puts you in the California market, puts you in a great city that no longer has an NFL football team, and puts you in a good position. I mean, the San Diego State fans, maybe not as supportive as they need to be sometimes, but if they get a Power 5 invite and their team's playing some of the big boys every week in that city, I think it's something that could explode and help the Big 12 more than they even realize. But those are the 4 teams that's being talked about. Now, there's other teams out there that you could probably mention that would have good markets as well, like Tulane, who actually showed pretty well against Oklahoma this week. And I don't know, who else could you maybe look at down the road? You would probably, I don't know, maybe, like I said before, you could actually even go and talk some of the Pac-12 schools that aren't happy with the Pac-12 if you get Boise State and San Diego State at that point and talk them into leaving the Pac-12. And then the Pac-12 could be the team, or not the team, but to be the conference at that point that's struggling to keep their Power 5 status. Like I said before in another video, the worm could turn and karma could be a real bitch for the Pac-12. And that's all I got to say about that for today. You guys and gals tell me what teams you think they should add, if they should go to maybe 4 more. Maybe you think they should stay at 12. If so, just drop it in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams.